Edmund Bartlett, Minister of Tourism, Jamaica, which was 17 hours of flying overall, is to really make the statement to everybody that flying is okay, that you can fly again. It's safe to travel. You know, we've done our PCR test. This is the 4th test that I'm doing in just about a week. But it's all happening so quickly, so seamlessly, and you know, the results are quick. And so it allows us to be able to say yes, tourism and travel is back again.
And you are members of UNWTO, and the UNWTO message is very clear, is that the world must work together. We cannot have different countries or different regions doing different things. So I assume that's an important message for Jamaica.
Indeed. In fact, it is a message that has to resonate with all. And it begs some questions. One of it is, how do we achieve this? That's a big one. And achieving it is by collaborating, and achieving it is by not leaving anybody behind. So it brings a level of equity in the whole matter of arranging the tools that are necessary, the biosanitary tools. How can we make sure that the small countries, the highly dependent, less resourced countries, who are critical in all of this, and in fact they are the real source of the experiences, how do we make sure that they are not left behind? And in this whole vaccine diplomacy and vaccine politics that is raging now, where nationalism is taking the front seat, and there's less talk about how do we really collaborate. We're seeing that 1.7 billion doses have so far been given to the world. That's 5.1% of the world. But that doesn't tell the real story. The real story is that less than 1% of the countries of the world have had a second dose at the level of 30% or more. It also tells another story, that 3 countries have literally cornered the majority of that, and in one case 131 million people have had a second dose, while there are 60 countries that are still to get 1% dosage for the first time. So these are real issues if we are going to start together and if we're going to recover in an equitable way. But if we don't, it is going to spell danger, and it is going to cause a humanitarian tragedy that is probably worse than the pandemic. And this is a big point that we need to understand. And I think tourism is a strong voice, and we must make that voice heard, you know, in the powers that matter, that recovery cannot be meaningful. It will be a fleeting illusion, as Bob Marley says, to be pursued but never attained, unless there's equity, and unless the big boys who have the resources are able to enable the smaller guys who have no resources to be able to be healthy too.
Wonderful, very good point, Minister. One last question. Can you tell us about what's happening at the moment in terms of recovery, tourism, vaccination in your own country and the broader Caribbean region? Well,
in my own country, we have been working very hard at following the protocols, comporting with the key protocols. You know, social distancing, wearing a mask, you know, the touchless technology arrangements to enable more of the reduction in the transmission of the disease, since in fact the vector is a human being. So we've been using the quarantine, the lockdown, so to speak, as they call it, and we are also looking at closing borders here, opening borders there to countries. The good news, however, is that we opened our borders on the 15th of June and we've not closed it. We've had variations in terms of how the numbers go, because we manage by science and data. And as those numbers and science improve, then we also relax our restrictions. Since the year, we've had just a little over 400,000 visitors. But of course, that's about 30–40% of what we normally do. But we're growing, and that's good. But there's a second and important part, where the collaboration is concerned, and that's for the region, the Caribbean region. And we're working now with the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Mexico, Panama, 5 of us, in creating a Caribbean passport arrangement that allows for multi-destination tourism, but it also is going to create an opportunity for visitors who, particularly those from the long-haul destinations, coming into our space, can have multiple destination experiences with a package that offers a single price and an opportunity to move from one country to the other seamlessly to enjoy touristic endeavors. So this is important because what it is doing, it is saying that we can converge our interests. We could put aside our competitiveness and we can collaborate. And we could do something else. We can, what they call co-petition. We could engage in co-petition rather than competition. I think that will be a big part of the whole recovery program. The world needs to look to that, and we will be able then to find a common way. And we need these common tools, but the equity that must give us the common tools has to be there, because there's no way I can ask for a single passport for a country that has no vaccination, from a country that doesn't understand how to even deal with the basics of health because they don't have the resources. So we have to work together, and those who have it must be able to pass on. The last thing I want to say on it is the whole business of patents and the liberalization of manufacturing rights to a larger number of countries so that more of the vaccine can be manufactured by a wider group of competent and qualified and technologically capable and efficient manufacturing entities. And so we have to make our voice heard on that. We have to call for this liberalization so that the patents cannot be stuck into one country, but the use of it can be available in many, many other countries where manufacturing capabilities exist. In that way, we'll have far more vaccines available to far more countries in a shorter time.
Wonderful. That was really good. Thank you, Minister. It was very strong.
Thank you.
Beaches is all about families, and keeping your family safe is our #1 priority. That's why we created our Platinum Protocol of Cleanliness, setting a new standard of excellence in health and safety protocols to give you a worry-free destination wedding of a lifetime. Beaches was built on connection. Connecting with family and friends, celebrating old times, and creating new beginnings. And we know the love you have for your family and having them there for the most special time of your life is what's most important. At Beaches, you can still have that happily ever after with a fully customized destination wedding surrounded by the people who mean the most to you. You can feel safe saying "I do" on a lush tropical garden, or walking down a white sand aisle with a calm blue sea as your backdrop. Our wedding venues are found in wide open spaces, nature-made for celebrating your love. And while we've always led the industry in health and safety protocols, our resorts are even safer now than ever, giving you a wedding free of worries, surrounded by love. That's why we've reduced the capacity of our venues and put more physical distance between guests. Instead of tables for 8 at your reception, we'll seat only 6 guests per table. We've eliminated buffets and specialty food stations, so all food will be plated and served by Beaches staff wearing masks. We're even offering live stream service of your wedding ceremony, so your friends and family who can't travel right now can still share in your special day. Once the vows have been exchanged, the honeymoon of a lifetime begins. And we're taking every measure necessary to ensure your health and safety during your stay at Beaches. As part of the Sandals Resorts family, We've followed in their footsteps in setting a new standard of excellence with our Platinum Protocol of Cleanliness. Together with the extensive research from local ministries and health officials, the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization, Beaches has instituted advanced hygiene practices across 18 key touchpoints. A triple check system that includes inspecting, cleaning, and sanitizing hard surfaces and common areas every 20 minutes. Adding auto-dispensing hand sanitizing stations throughout the resort. To ensure the utmost safety, Beaches will be using hospital-grade disinfectants, electrostatic sprayers for advanced cleaning, UV lighting equipment to inspect cleanliness, and air duct sanitization for each room before every guest's arrival. We've gone so far as to steam clean and sanitize carpeting and flooring prior to arrivals, and placing personal hand sanitizers in every guest room. For added safety, all staff members are required to wear protective face gear at all times. And from now on, guests can check in online at home, so they can bypass the front desk and go directly to their rooms. Stricter physical distancing protocols have also been put in place in every part of the resort. Chlorine and pH levels at all our pools and water parks are monitored every 2 hours, and we've taken added measures to protect the health and safety of your family. Our kids' camps facilities are sanitized before and after each use. And all of our professional nannies carry pocket-sized bottles of hand sanitizer. Our tween and teen hangouts, including the Xbox Play Lounge and Trench Town, are sanitized before and after each use with hospital-grade disinfectants. In addition, all our spa facilities and sports equipment will be sanitized before and after use to protect the health and safety of our guests and their families. Both Sandals and Beaches are committed to providing strict compliance and implementation of these safety protocols. So much so that we've created a dedicated quality inspection team at each resort to make sure all safety measures are adhered to. We can't wait to help you make your dreams come true with a destination wedding at Beaches. And while you're focused on your new life together, surrounded by those you love the most, we'll take care of everything else.